Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Growfolds, and today we'll be big box store plant shopping at the Home Depot out in Prosper, Texas. As always, please make sure you are hitting the like button for this video, as well as following me on Instagram at Growfolds. And for those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome. My name is Richie and I do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos. So hopefully you guys enjoy today's installment. It is a late afternoon, early evening run to the Home Depot out in Prosper, Texas. I am based out in North Dallas, so I do a lot of these big box store plant shopping videos. These are one of the first big box store places that I've actually featured previously on the channel. I found a lot of proven winners plants, so we're going to see if they have any restock. So we are almost at the end of the first month of the new year, and we've been seeing a lot of restock, so we'll see what we have available there. What I like about this location though is they typically keep it full, but we'll see if they actually have any new plants. But before we get into the plant shopping, I did want to announce that I am part of a plant podcast called The Cultivation Corner. This is with Janae Simone and Steven of I Live Plants. Season 2 will be premiering February 18th at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, so definitely check it out. But I'm going to actually feature some of the plants that this Home Depot has right at the get-go. This is right next to the returns or customer service area. This one is for $10.98. This is another type of peperomia, and I was actually told that peperomias are not a popular plant, or not many people are into them. For me, peperomias are easy to care for plants. Now this with particular peperomias, you have to really be mindful about not getting their stems wet because they can kind of rot off. It's kind of similar to African violet plant care, so you want to make sure that your peperomias are taken care of in that sense, that you water them from the bottom, so bottom watering them. But for $10.98, this is Vigoro plants. Not a bad price at all for these plants. And so whenever you're shopping at Home Depot, you'll see a lot of Vigoro plants. Here is a calathea in a 6-inch ceramic planter, terracotta planter, $19.98. And you already know with calatheas, they're just a little bit more challenging to grow. What I would say about calatheas is if you're able to provide them with quite a bit of bright indirect light, higher humidity levels, and better water quality, as in if you're watering them with more like distilled water versus tap water or that sort of thing, you may have better success for that. This one is for $10.98. Calathea lancifolia, it's also known as the rattlesnake calathea. It's one of the more common ones, and you know the sad part is calatheas would make such beautiful plants to keep, but they just are hard to grow. Syngonium green pixie, $10.98, and you can see that the leaves are a little bit smaller. I like syngoniums in the sense that syngoniums are a little bit faster growing plants. It's a plant that doesn't have trouble growing, but the problem with syngoniums is they are very much not so much drought tolerant, if that makes any sense. So if you do not water your syngoniums for a long period of time, they really quickly decline in health. They get very leggy. They also need a little bit higher lighting conditions, otherwise they get a little bit leggy. What I would say about syngoniums is if you do grow them on a totem pole or moss pole, they will end up actually getting larger leaves, and their leaves actually create a more mature shape. They get trilobes versus just the arrowhead look. Love syngoniums. They will always be my first love when it comes to plants, but at the current moment, I'm kind of falling out of love with them just because I haven't had the most success, and it's really because I'm the one to blame for that. I don't really water them as consistently, so if I put them in semi-hydroponic substrates like Choose Upon or Leca, it'll be a little bit easier. And then over here, $19.98, you can see that we've got a blue ceramic planter. Really love the look of that as well. I wish that the blue was more of a matte finish. So I talk about like plant aesthetics again, plant foldies. It's all about your personal taste, but I like more simplistic planters, and I like planters that have more of a matte finish versus a shiny glaze. This one again is for $19.98. This is another philodendron moonlight, and you'll see there's at least 2, maybe 3 plants in each one. So in hindsight, it's probably going to just cost you about $10 per plant once you buy this, and you can actually separate it, or you can keep it to where it's a little bit more full. The philodendron moonlights here are not nearly as yellowish or neon colored because it may not have gotten the best lighting conditions. Whenever it comes to more neon colored plants, you have to make sure that you are providing them with quite a bit of bright indirect light for them to maintain that coloration. Love philodendron moonlight in a sense that it is an easy to care for plant. It is a plant that if you just water it when the soil is dry, keep it in a bright indirect lighting condition, it will do very well for you. Alocasia amazonica. So this right here looks like an alocasia poly as well. This is for $10.98. This alocasia, or alocasias in general, I would say they're not as challenging as a calathea, but they're still challenging in a sense that they're very much spider mite prone, specifically the amazonica. If you're able to grow them in lechuza pond, they're going to do amazing. When they're grown in soil, you just have to make sure that you're watering it when the soil is about an inch dry from the topsoil, and also just to make sure that you're giving them higher humidity levels. If you're not able to provide them higher humidity levels, make sure the lighting condition is optimal and you are spraying them consistently with like neem oil spray or a pest preventative spray, because they are so spider mite prone. And you can see the classic, one of my favorite common easy care houseplants, and that would be the Aglaonema, and specifically the Aglaonema red Siam. This is for $19.98. These are 6-inch planters, and you can see there is a whole bunch of Aglaonema red Siams. This is one that you can easily find at a big box store, local grocery. It is one of the most common Aglaonemas, but as I pan away here, you already know if it is a grow folds video that I will talk about Aglaonemas. I am an Aglaonema collector. I am somebody that wants to campaign for Aglaonemas to be more of a trending plant, a plant that everybody's talking about. I want to see more people actually collecting them because they're so easy to take care of. Drought tolerant, low light tolerant, and even though they are a slow grower, they're still super easy. I mean, overwatering is what will kill them, but if you are like me who doesn't have nearly as much time to water my plants, they're a little bit more forgiving when it comes to being underwatered. So Aglaonema red Siam, it also the coloration of Aglaonemas is really dependent on the lighting conditions. So if you provide them with more bright indirect light, if you don't have the best lighting conditions, growing them under a grow light, you'll be able to push out more of the red margins or the red borders of the leaves. You can see that it's got a gorgeous pink stem, and I would just recommend everybody checking out different varieties of Aglaonema. If you are on Etsy, for instance, you can see some of the more Indonesian sellers that sell these hybrids, or you can check out Green Spaces ID, greenspaces.id. It's a website. Check out Aglaonema. You will see a lot of hybrids. Yesterday, I premiered a video where I did an unboxing video of my previous orders of Green Spaces ID, and you saw a lot of hybrid Aglaonema. So definitely check it out if you are just discovering this channel. And honestly, if you made it this far into the video, please make sure you're hitting the like button and subscribing to this channel with all the notification bell on. So plant foldies, if you've been following me, can you double check to see if you are subscribed, but move your notifications to, instead of personal notifications, all notifications, so that way you're always looped in whenever I do an update. So we're gonna go ahead and walk into the indoor garden section right here. We'll see if they have a lot of plants. So it's kind of been like a hit or miss with certain big box stores. I have not been here in a while. We recently just got a bunch of snow, so maybe some of the restocks might be delayed, but I want to try to diversify the content for sure and show you things outside of shopping at big box stores. So you'll see more plant updates, more curated how to do tutorials for plant care. And if you have any suggestions on what you want to see, please leave that in the comment section. But before I get into the plants, I did want to show you some more of the plant products I use. I definitely use Osmocote. This is for $16.47. It is not a bad price at all. Slow release fertilizer that you can put and mix into your soil substrates. It is a very gentle, slow release fertilizer that is going to continue to feed your plants. And I can already tell that this Home Depot location might be a little bit more sparse with the plant collection or the plants they have available, but we're still going to talk about it. Ficus lyrata, Like I said, again, this fiddle fig leaf tree, beautiful plant. Mine are doing well. That the thing about ficus is that you want to make sure you are consistently watering them. This one is slightly finicky, but if you're able to provide it with quite a bit of bright light, indirect light, and stay on top of the watering, you'll get some beautiful leaves like this. I've actually delved into possibly getting a ficus lyrata variegated form, but we'll see what that looks like. And then we'll see that we have an Alocasia California right here, and there is some Pothos Enjoy plants there. It looks like some of this, the Pothos plants that were like ground cover have been a little bit damaged, so I'm not sure if these were out or what happened, but it's not nearly as lush and full. Now the Alocasia is still a nice looking one. I just can't grow Alocasias this size indoors just because I don't have the space, nor do I have the humidity levels for it. But you can see here we do have a Sansevieria, and we have a Sansevieria with Pothos plants. So these combination planters, I'm on the fence on that. And plant foliage, you can see right here, we do have some Alocasia Regal Shields, beautiful plant for only $29.98 for a 10-inch planter. I would love to be able to grow an Alocasia Regal Shields. I've attempted to grow these larger Alocasia, but number one, I don't really have all of the space for these types of plants in my home. I already have some large leaf plants. And then number two, Alocasias, at least for me, the Alocasia Regal Shields is a little bit more spider mite prone. I do love the satin finish, and then also the veins underneath it, the green veins. You can see that this is actually in flower as well. Now, here's the thing about house plants that have flowers. I would recommend cutting the flowers off because they tend to put more energy to produce the flower. Therefore, your plant's not going to really grow as vigorous as if it didn't have flowers. Flowers in general take a lot of energy from the plant. So if you are growing like an Alocasia, an Aglaonema, or any plants that you're not trying to capture seeds from, I would definitely cut the flowers off. But you can see beautiful plant, and this would look so stunning if you actually like clean the leaves and use the neem oil spray for it. But as you can see right over here, we do have quite a bit of Alocasia, and I'm just going to walk around and show you the gorgeous foliage. Again, plant foliage, if you made it this far into the video and you haven't pressed the thumbs up or like button, definitely check that out and press that button. It definitely pushes this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. And just leave me comments about some of the plants that you are liking or seeing in this video if you have any questions. And just know that I will just feature plants and talk about some of the actual planters today, because Home Depot has quite a bit of planters, and that's something that I want to delve into a little bit more while I am shopping for houseplants at a big box store. But you can see we have some flowers here. Love the look of the Alocasia Regal Shields. We're going to talk about some of the plant products I use. I definitely use Super Thrive. This is a B vitamin that I would recommend for anybody that has plants, especially when you're putting plants in semi-hydro, or if you have a plant that's struggling, it really helps recover the plant. Osmocote, again, is another plant must for products. This one's for $16.47. Sometimes you can find it for a little bit cheaper on Amazon, so definitely do your plant pricing comparisons. And then you can see Miracle-Gro fertilizers. Some people have their opinions about Miracle-Gro fertilizers, but they do work very well for me. And I even just use the all-purpose fertilizer. It definitely gives my plants at least the nutrients they need if I'm growing them in soil. And you can see that there is the NPK, so nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Now, if you want more blooms on your plant, typically the phosphorus route is a lot higher. And whenever you are trying to get plants to get some stable roots, you want to get more of like the flower food bloom booster, because it has a higher phosphorus rate. If you want more like foliage or growth, you want to look for the first number to be the higher number, because it'll push out the growth. And in potassium, what I do is actually take banana peels, soak them in water, and water with banana peel water to have an organic potassium watering for my plants, so that actually helps them from getting diseases. So if you want to make the, I guess, immune systems of your plants to be stronger, water with some banana peel water that you soak. I let it soak for like 2 or 3 hours and then water my plants with that. And then another organic fertilizer I like to use is fish plant fertilizer. This one is a very mild fertilizer. It's definitely going to help your roots develop better, and it just helps the plant grow and be more vigorous as well. This one's for $16.97. And then we also have worm casting. So if you're using soil substrates, mixing earthworm castings is a really good organic fertilizer. So we talk about plants, but we also need to talk about fertilizers to make sure that they're the most healthy when it comes to those nutrients, because they need nutrients in order for them to really grow properly. So now we're going to be looking at some of the planters right over here. So this one doesn't have a drainage hole, so this would actually be really good for like semi-hydroponics. This one is, I believe, a 4 or 5 inch planter, and you can see right here the prices are not that bad for these planters. You can see I love the white pots. I have a lot of white cream pots in my plant collection. I tend to go for the more subtle, less flamboyant pots. I really love simple shapes like this. This one is in a 4-inch or 3-inch planter right here. And so we're just going to pick up this. So a lot of folks will not really attribute Home Depot as a place that has a lot of stylish planters. But as you can see right over here, we have the white planters. This just has a little bit of texture. This one doesn't have a drainage hole. But the thing about it is, if you want to have drainage holes, you can always drill a hole into it. But now that I've actually gotten into semi-hydroponic substrates, like using leca or pond, I would just find a catch pot and then eventually just put it in these planters right here. This one is for $7.97, and we're just going to keep looking at some of the planters here. So they've got them in a color story where you've got the white planters. This one is $11.97 right here. So it's a combination of white and like a wooden kind of texture right here. That's a really nice looking pot. And again, this pot doesn't really have a drainage hole, so you can actually put leca in there. So some people actually use leca and don't use like a catch pot, but for me, I would definitely need a catch pot so I can actually rinse out the leca if needed to be. This one's $18.97. So obviously this one's a little bit more pricey. This one is a larger 8-inch planter. And then let's take a look at this. Now, I really like the texture of this. So I don't mind the texture of this one right here. It has a very modern vibe about it. So the texture has like gold margins on it, and it's a really nice pot. I'm actually tempted to purchase this. So whenever you think about like plant styling and just having planters accentuate the plant, this would definitely be one that would fit into my plant collection. So as far as like my houseplant collection, plant foldies, I am definitely working on my houseplant tour. I definitely want to show y'all this. I know I've been talking about it for more than a year, but I just really want to make sure that I have a quality video for y'all, not just one that I actually just filmed and put a voice over. Like, I really want to take a little bit more time on the panning, editing, soundtrack, and just even the commentary of it, because I actually want to make sure that I have a great representation of my plant collection, but also my interior design. This one right here is more of a our orchid planter. You can see that there are a lot of drainage holes here, and actually what you could do is put this and use it as a the main pot into the catch pots right here. So we're going to take a look and see if this will actually fit in one of the pots. So this one I was hoping would fit. Let's see. I'm going to take it down and see if I can put this here so I can put a water reservoir. So this one is a little too small for this particular pot, so we can try another pot and see. But that's what I would do. I would buy one of these planters right here, these pots. This is a clear one too, so you can actually see what it is. And this one perfectly fits $9.97. And then look, you can see it will fit right in here. And I would like actually fit or actually put water or the nutrient solution about 30% into the pot. So that's something I would actually delve in. And then we're just going to pick up some pots right over here. Now, as far as plant styling, the types of planters you use, let me know in the comments section, plant foldies, if you would put a specific type of planter or what you would do with these planters. Let me know in the comments section. You already know I love that engagement for anybody who actually takes the time to not only click on my video, watch my video, but also leave a comment. That's when I know you are a loyal plant foldie, somebody that really follows my content and really believes in it. And I did want to shout you out and say thank you for that. Now, as far as the proven winners, we actually have these for $5.98. So we have a variety of different types of Hoyas. I've actually gotten a couple of Hoyas from proven winners. Love proven winners plants. I hope that they actually produce even more plants to be available at big box stores because they are pretty cost effective. This is the Leaf Joy series. So this is a Hoya right here. Hoya carnosa, I think freckled splash. And then we have a Peperomia obtusifolia over there. And this is a Hoya A drift. That's what Proven Winners calls it. And the thing about Proven Winners is that they have a little bit more different names for some of the plants. I feel like they rename the plants, which is okay because if you're producing mass amounts of plants, you can do whatever you want in terms of like what you want to name the plants. And that's the thing, plant foldies. We can see this one right over here. This is a sweet and sour peperomia, which is really more of a variegated Peperomia obtusifolia. You can see there is a piece of that plant that got broken off. I would hope that you could actually put that in some water and maybe propagate it. These are again for $5.98. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up some more of these proven winner planters or plants. Let me know in the comment section what you think. See that we have quite a bit of different types of plants by proven winners. You can see this one right here. We've got an Epiprimnum aureum marble queen pothos, $5.98 again in a 3.5-inch planter. They do have different names for this. Like this is the snowy morning, but when you think about it, it looks like a marble queen pothos. Pothos plants, if you don't have one in your plant collection, I say this in all the videos, you must get one because these are easy to care for plants that are easy to propagate, and they are inexpensive. And if you're looking to save on money as far as your plant budget, you definitely want to add this to your collection right here. We have another marble queen pothos that looks really nice. As far as the lighting conditions, you want to give it bright indirect light for it to really do well and to give you that variegation. If you're looking for more of just a green variety, we have the Epiprimnum aureum Jade Pothos. This one is a low variegated golden pothos, but this one is just the Jade Pothos, again for $5.98. And look at the extensive root system. It's starting to trail. There's just one yellowing leaf, but other than that, this is a really healthy specimen. I would recommend, if I were to buy one, I would definitely buy this one from this store. I am all about just getting more pothos and just easy care plants to my houseplant collection, just because I feel like when you have easy plants to take care of, you're not as stressed about having to go to water each one or just have to deal with any of the plant pests. But as I spin around here, you can see they have lots of different types of planters. So we're going to go ahead and delve into some of the stylistic aspects of plant styling. I tend to like more modern looking planters, ones that don't have a lot of texture and just really simple styles. So you can see right here, I really love pink planters, and this one is made in Germany. So this would be like a really good candidate to put in Aglaonema. So this one doesn't have a drainage hole. So if you're going to use semi-hydroponics, this could be the catch pot. And this one is the 6-inch one for $24. It is a nice ceramic planter. And you can see this is made in Germany. So it looks like a lot of the European made planters tend to have more of a modern vibe to it, which I prefer for at least my plant aesthetic. And then this one's for $9.97. I believe this is another German planter here. Really love the look of that gray. It will just match any of the neutral colors in a space. And then we have a Vigoro planter with a plant stand, 4.5-inch Bishop planter for $12.97.
Cut the cord that kept us connected, blacking out the mirror where your light once reflected. All of the love.
I'm gonna walk over here and take a look at how this plant, this cordyline plant, which is actually more of an uncommon one by proven winners. This one's polished in pinstripes. Really love this one. I'm actually tempted to buy another one soon and just see how it fits. And it fits okay, but you could see that it's just the planter or the plant is actually a little bit taller than what it needs to be. But either way, that's what you would do with these types of planters, is just use it as a catch pot and keep the plant in its grower pot. Oftentimes we are tempted to just repot the plant into another planter. I honestly wouldn't suggest doing that whenever you buy plants right from a big box store or a local nursery. Over here is for $2.97, and I actually want to buy this and maybe spray paint it a different color. But I love ginkgo trees, and you can see that it's got some ginkgo leaf patterns. Didn't expect that. And for $2.97, that is a really good price. I would love to get this planter here. It is going to fit my decor because, again, my home, my interior design is really modern, contemporary, minimalistic in a sense, and then also with shades of Japanese inspired themes. Really love a ginkgo tree. It is one of my favorite trees, alongside with Japanese maples. But the 7-inch planter is not bad, and you can see that it's a raw water reservoir. I don't know if you can actually pull this up and just use it as a catch pot for maybe semi-hydroponics. That would be awesome, but I would definitely change the color, maybe a cream or pink color, just using spray paint to do that. But really nice pot. It's very light, which I need as well, because I'm thinking about actually putting plants on like floating shelves to really maximize my space. But Vigoro planters are pretty cost effective as well. And you can see right here, I do like these resin planters. This one is just a simple gray one, and that's really the aesthetic I like. I like matte finishes, I like grays, I like neutral colors, and these are also really good cost effective pricing. $6.97 for the small one right here. So you've got a terracotta / gray look, and then this is really cool, $9.97. We've got a cactus planter, so you can put a cactus or succulent here. Really nice looking planter as well. This one I believe is in a 3.5-inch diameter, and so you can put plants here. I would recommend putting maybe a sansevieria or some type of snake plant in that, and we have many different colors. I love the look of this one as well. This is another one where I would put this in my plant collection. I would use this actually $24.97 for the 8-inch one as a reservoir for semi-hydroponics. I would just use a catch pot and then put that in there. and have one just growing in semi-hydroponics. And then you can see right here, this gunmetal is really nice as well. So you can see that Vigoro Plants has some really nice looking planters. I would prefer it to have more of a smooth finish, but you know, it's really to each his own in terms of just what aesthetic or styling you have. The most important thing is if it really fits for your personality. I always say try not to imitate or mimic other people's styles, have your own identity, and you know, really enjoy that plant process and just how you style your plants. Like this one right here, Syngonium Milk Confetti again. And I just remember when Syngonium Milk Confetti was super expensive. Now you've got it here at a big box store. I would say with the Syngonium Confetti, giving it more bright indirect light will push out more of the speckling and pink variegation. I am thankful that Leaf Joy by Proven Winners is readily available. And then we have a Cordyline polished in pinstripes. And this one is a beautiful Cordyline. Here's the thing about Cordylines. This one is a little bit more dwarf and compact. So this is a little bit more of a good candidate in terms of growing this indoors. But I would tell you with Cordyline tea plants, they are very susceptible to spider mites whenever you grow them indoors. So what I would suggest is making sure that they're in an area that gets a lot of bright indirect light. Also making sure that maybe you have higher humidity levels, but if you don't have the higher humidity levels for a Cordyline plant, at least spraying them down with neem oil spray maybe once or twice a week to maintain and just protect the leaves from getting spider mites. When you have dry environments, that's when plants are a little bit more susceptible to spider mites, as well as just the plant's health. So we talk about, you know, whenever a plant is declining in health, it has this pheromone where plant pests are more susceptible to attacking it because its health is compromised. So things that you can also help with is maybe, you know, feeding your plants with a higher concentrate of potassium. It does help in the fertilizer to boost the immune system. It's kind of like if a human being drinks emergency or what is it, that vitamin C to help boost your immune system. Plants have that same thing or same type of reaction whenever you are increasing the potassium level in their watering. Now, as far as that, you might want to do a little bit more research on how much potassium you need to give a plant because it could really, you know, take it off balance. This is a philodendron fall leaves is what Leaf Joy Proven Winners is calling. This is $19.98. And this is what you call straight hydroponic growing. So you're growing them in just water. This is again $19.98. And look at how extensive the Pothos plant roots are. Really love the look of that as well. And you can just see that it's a healthy looking plant. I would choose a Pothos plant to add in my collection any day because it is easy to care for. And I just love the look of the Pothos plant. It is one that I would recommend, and it is one that I definitely feel like we need to get back into conversation. I think there's not enough conversation about Pothos plants. I don't think that a lot of people are really getting as excited, and some people will say it's because they don't need to be sold to people. People already know them. They're very established, but I do think that there isn't as big of a craze to collect Pothos plants. Let me know in the comment sections, Plant Foldy, again, if you agree, disagree. I want to know your plant insights. What I do know is if you don't have a Pothos plant, I will say this in all my videos, so get ready. Please add one to your plant collection. If there's anything I can do to influence people or at least try to get more light into some of these underrated, common plants, definitely listen to my suggestions. I will not steer you away from having some plants that will bring you joy. But I am going to pick up some more of these plants like Calatheas. You know the story. Calatheas I would not recommend for just the average person who wants to just grow plants. You really have to be dedicated to their care conditions, specifically their environment, like this Calathea lancifolia, for instance. This one is a nice one, but it is one that is also finicky. What's very discouraging is the fact that Calatheas just looks so inviting, but when you don't give them the environment they need, they decline in health very quickly. Aglaonema Silver Bay, this is by Vigoro Plants, $14.98. And you can see this one right here has so many little babies. So like this is how you can get an Aglaonema to become even more full. It actually pushes out more babies as it actually matures or is in a happy state. With Aglaonema Silver Bay, that is as common as the Aglaonema Red Siam. These are two Aglaonema. I hope as you guys have continued to engage and watch my plant shopping videos that you would actually add this into your plant collection. Start out with a 6-inch Aglaonema Silver Bay. It will not do you wrong and actually $14.98. It's a little bit more cost effective as instead of buying the Costa Farms self-watering planter for $15.98. So even that dollar difference does matter. I'm all about saving money. I am all about financing, responsible financing when it comes to a hobby such as plants. It's very easy for us to just want to swipe our credit card or just continue to consume plants, but then we realize that we've overspent. So definitely compare and contrast your plant pricing. I would recommend finding coupons or special deals or really waiting whenever a plant is on sale before you really commit to buying it. But love Aglaonema Silver Bay. It can tolerate lower light conditions. Water when the soil is completely dry. I would fertilize these with a balanced 20-20-20 fertilizer, or use an organic fertilizer such as We the Wild Grow concentrate, maybe every 2 weeks, and you will find some really good success for that. But I am just going to continue to walk around here. You can see that we've got a lot of these plants. Now these are all proven winner plants. These are the Ficus elastica Chloe. This one, somebody put this as a catch pot, really nice looking pot actually. And Ficus elastica Chloe has more rounder leaves whenever you are looking at ficus plants. Anything ficus related, I will always say this, is you need to make sure you have quite a bit of bright light. Otherwise, the plant's not going to do well. Oftentimes, ficus plants will actually drop its leaves when it's not getting the right lighting conditions. And then I'm just going to keep walking around and picking up some of the Leaf Joy Proven Winners series. Love that Proven Winners is actually producing more house plants. I know that they were better known for gardening plants, landscaping plants, but now that they're into the indoor tropical plants, love it, love it, love it. And I hope that we continue to get more releases from them. You can see they have different types of philodendron. This is a philodendron pop art, but it looks like either a black cardinal or a red imperial or even a rojo Congo. But with these types of philodendron, they do get pretty large, and they're easy care plants. So we're just going to keep picking up these plants, and I'll show you which ones they have available at this Home Depot. Here we've got a Ficus benjamina, just a regular one. So these are considered indoor tree plants. The thing about it is Ficus benjamina in general, they shed a lot of their leaves, especially when you do not water them consistently. And if they don't have enough light, they're very finicky plants in that way. But if you're able to get them to establish, these are beautiful plants. Like I had a Ficus benjamina variegated version like this. Unfortunately, I underwatered it, so it dropped all of its leaves. But when I did a scratch test on the bark just to see if it actually was green, it was still green. So basically I'm just waiting for it to push out new leaves, and I'm going to grow it under a grow light to try to get it to recover. It's currently in plant purgatory, so we'll see if it wants to live or if it's going to go all the way to plant heaven. Either way, it is another beautiful plant. Love the variegation. This is a really good candidate also for bonsai and plant foldies. I will be doing some bonsai plant content for you as well, so stay tuned for that in the next couple of weeks. And then we're looking at some more Ficus elastica. This is the ruby, also known as Belize for Proven Winners. Give it lots of light. It'll have more of those reddish tintish ruby tones. And in the Ficus elastica Taniki, love the Taniki. I actually have a couple of rubber tree plants. Whenever it's spring and summer, I actually put them outside and let them grow in full sun. Obviously, you don't want to just put them out in full sun. You need to acclimate them first. So put them in like a bright, shady area and slowly and gradually move them outside to where they can get full sun. They will thrive. When I was in the Philippines on vacation last year in July, I saw Ficus elasticas as tall as 20 to 25 feet in height. So that was really amazing. And then we're going to look at some Aglaonema. So this is an Aglaonema Nicole. Thanks to Costa Farms for actually having a plant ID for that one when I went to their website. What I love is this one is $29.98. I'm super tempted to buy this because it is in a 10-inch planter, super easy to care for plant. This is another plant that has that nice silver foliage. If you spray it with a leaf shine or neem oil spray and really rub down the plant with, microfiber gloves that I use, it would actually enhance the shine on this, and it's just such a beautiful plant. Very easy plant. I repeat, very easy plant to take care of. And I know that some Aglaonemas are a lot more colorful, so even these ones are already at a disadvantage because they're more of the green versions. But I would tell you the green silvery ones are just as beautiful as the colorful ones because they're a little bit more vigorous in their growth. Aglaonemas are a little bit slower in growth, and they're more readily available. They do size up fairly well, and they can tolerate lower light conditions. You don't have to give them as much light as the colorful Aglaonemas for them to still grow and have that nice coloration. So I would recommend that for anything else. And as far as all of these Aglaonemas in general, beautiful plants, and it's one that I would highly recommend for sure. We've got the Aglaonema Nicole, we've got the Aglaonema Silver Bay, and just many plants that we have available. I would definitely recommend one of these. If you want one that's larger, Home Depot is a great candidate. And you can see we have an Aglaonema White Rain. I ended up buying it a White Rain here at this particular Home Depot. This has some more of the gold in the middle, and I love that coloration as well. We've got the more consistent philodendron. So this is a philodendron rojo Congo. Really love the look of that. And I just love that it is another philodendron that's common, but is such a good grower. We've got a bird's nest fern right over here by Proven Winners. And these are for $29.98. You can see how large it can get. I've seen these get really massive. As far as bird's nest fern, I'm not as in tune to possibly getting one just because of the space it will potentially have to have once it gets a little bit larger. It is one of the more easier ferns to grow. So if you want to add a fern in your plant collection, I would recommend a bird's nest fern. Just plan for it to get sized up pretty fast. And then I need to get another philodendron silver sword. And you can see that Proven Winners has them on a pole. And so that's what you need. As far as this philodendron, it wants to climb. And when you let it climb, the leaves get larger and larger, and it is such a beautiful one. This is a vining type one that wants to climb up a pole, and you can see how gorgeous that silver foliage is. I love silver plants. There's an element of elegance that has silver plants, and this one particularly, I love the leaf shape. And as it matures, it gets larger, and it has more of like an arrowhead type shape. It really does look like a silver sword, and it used to be a plant that was quite expensive, and now that it's at big box stores, Proven Winners has really upped their game in terms of just getting more house plants. And you can see this one's already attached to the pole, which means it is going to continue to grow. So you'll have to get more attached to that actual pole for it to climb. So that is another plant that just needs bright indirect light, water when the soil is dry, and that is basically it. This philodendron, the silver sword, is quite easy. It does need light, and you can see this silver sword next to the Aglaonema Nicole. Love that silver foliage. You can have a silver foliage plant collection, and it will do extremely well because these are both easy to care for plants. foliage, you can see that we don't have nearly as many plants to really look at, although they have a lot of large specimens of Alocasia regal shields. Love that as well. So I'm just going to do a final pan around here and just show you, even though they don't have nearly as many plants, I would always say whenever you're shopping for plants, even if there's not a big restock, as long as the plants are healthy, as long as there's some selection, you can still probably find plants. And even though I'm not going to buy any plants from Home Depot today, I did want to just showcase what is currently available here and my suggestions for easy to care for plants, as well as how to save money on plants. Compare and contrast plant pricing, look for clearance plants, find plants if you're able to do trades, and then you should be able to save some money. But I did want to go right across, right next to the grocery store plant shopping. This is the Kroger Marketplace, also in Prosper, Texas. This is right next to the Home Depot. So I'm going to do a 2-in-1 special and show you what plants they have here. As always, if you made it this far into the video and have not pressed the like button or the thumbs up button, please do that. It definitely helps me out. So do that for me as well. And then also, if you want to connect with me, follow me on Instagram at Growfold. If you really want to stay connected to me all day, every day, I often post there. I often post live stories and even do live streams there if you want to check me out. But it is a late afternoon, early evening. So it's about to be like 5:30 or 6 when I film this. I did want to see what Kroger has, and I have been filming a lot of Kroger grocery store plant shopping content. So you'll see that this week. But as far as this one is a marketplace, which means it's a larger than the regular Kroger. So as far as Prosper, Texas, it is up north. It is a northern suburb of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. For those that are not here, living here, it is a highly fast-growing community. So lots of businesses are really opening up. This one, I would say, is a really nice place to go shopping, especially for your groceries, but also for your plants, because they have a large selection. So whenever you're going shopping for plants, houseplants in general, they will always be in the floral department. And the good thing about it is, grocery store plants are considered like produce. So they want to make sure that they keep their plants healthy. And if their plants are not, 100% healthy or declining in health, that's when they start to mark them down and put them on sale, put them on clearance. And I have found some amazing plant prices, particularly at Kroger. And you can see right now, they do have some Lunar New Year plants available. This one is a chrysanthemum China yellow. Love the look of it. And it is just a common looking chrysanthemum. This one is for $11.99. And with chrysanthemums, they are perennials. And for those that don't know what the term perennials means, it means that you can actually grow them in the garden, and they will return year after year. So you don't have to like rebuy them and plant them again. So that's a good thing about chrysanthemums. I always say, if you're going to give me flowers, give me one that's potted up, so that way they can live past the time they bloom. So that's really exciting. And what I've also been told is Kroger actually has some like low variegated philodendron pink princess popping up in 10-inch planters for only $19.99. So we'll see if we can find that. And then we have some more chrysanthemums here. This one needs to be watered because it looks like the leaves are a little bit droopy. Here we have some large foliage plants, philodendron red imperial of $19.99. And then take a look at this. So this is a philodendron white knight, and it's for only $19.99. And look at how large the leaves are. Now, clearly, this is not a highly variegated specimen, but needless to say, beautiful plant. And for $19.99, that's not a bad price at all. However, if you wait, it may end up actually going on clearance for as low as $4. So I'm going to definitely check this Kroger location out next week and see if they put some more of these plants on clearance. This one has a little bit of cosmetic damage, so they may end up actually clearancing this out. I wouldn't actually buy this one though, just because it's already a large plant and I don't have the space. Even if you run into a plant that has a good price, if you don't have the space or you don't have the environment, I would still recommend holding off from buying the plant. Now, clearly you can buy the plant and maybe gift it to a friend. I always say sharing is caring, and I care about the plant foldies, and I wish that I could get you guys all these aglaonemas, for instance, that I find. I am on a mission because there is a particular aglaonema that Kroger has called the aglaonema red vein that I want to just go and rescue. I mean, it's $29.99. It's a little bit pricey for a 3-inch aglaonema, but knowing Kroger, you can actually save a ton of money. You can manage your finances, especially if you are on a budget. You can just see if they mark them down. So we'll look at the markdown plant pricing, but you can see that spring is almost around the corner, and with spring you see tulip bulbs and you see hyacinths, and hyacinths they are just so fragrant. I did want to show you some more of these Phalaenopsis orchids right here, and I'm just going to pick them up and show you what they have. Love the Lunar New Year decorations that they have on these Phalaenopsis orchids. These are super cute. That one is for $14.99.
You don't want my heart, you don't want my love, you just want me crying over you. You don't want my heart, you don't want my love, you just want me crying over you. And I'm thinking about you.
Right here, we've got some more supplies for fertilizer, Miracle Grow. They've got plant food spikes, they've got flowering food, they've got orchid food, they've got sprays, they've got it all. They've got leaf shine. So you can also get your plant supplies at Kroger by Miracle Grow. And then you can see this is more of the indoor tropical plants. This one is everybody's favorite. This is the Hydra Helix in a 4.5-inch planter. This one is for $9.99, and it's just a green variety. I love English ivy. I just can't grow them. These Hedera Helix, it is just a pain to grow them indoors. And I guess, I will give you a gold star, a gold medal if you're able to grow these indoors long term. I love the look of English ivy because they remind me of maple tree leaves, the shapes, and I love any type of maple tree. It's a favorite of mine in terms of trees. And then you can see right here, we've got a lemon button fern. So I'm just going to pick up all of these plants. There's different colors and varieties of planters here, and this one is for $13.99. These are by Mason Farms. They source a lot of their plants to Kroger specifically. That is the plant find I was talking about. So take a look at the aglaonema. red vein. This is another one that was hard to find. You could only get this plant imported, but you can see now that Tropic Treasures has released it, and I actually love that it's got a red planter. It really does match that fiery red, and I would just say with this Aglaonema, it has the red veins for sure, and I think that the new leaves actually unfurl like a very light color, and it does darken up. Love the plant. So far, I have rescued 3 Aglaonema red veins. What I did is I put them in semi-hydroponic leca for to be specific, and you can see there is a Ficus lyrata fake one. It's a fake plant, and then we have another Aglaonema red vein here. So I'm just going to pick this up. I would recommend seeing if you can get these when they are marked down. I've seen them as low as $4. I typically see them for $9, and just depending on whether you want to just rehab them or rescue them, I would recommend it. Like this one should be marked down. I wish they would, because I would buy it, and look at how red that leaf is. Absolutely stunning plant. And shout out to Tropic Treasures. That nursery alone, just being able to produce some more of these rare and uncommon Aglaonemas. I have been told that the Aglaonema red vein tends to grow a little bit faster than some of the more fancy Aglaonema. I would definitely love to get all of these Aglaonemas, because look at this. As far as an Aglaonema collector, this one is really one that's challenging to find in the United States. I'm glad that they actually have this. This is considered a more rare or uncommon Aglaonema, and it's a beautiful one because you can see that it looks like even somebody just took some like neon red color pen and just like drew lines in here. What an interesting plant. Plant care tips again is this one would need a little bit more bright indirect light, water when the soil is completely dry. Aglaonema hate to be waterlogged. You don't want to leave them in like very mushy soil. If you're going to grow them in a soil substrate, definitely give them more chunky soil mix. So that's what I would recommend, and we're just going to keep picking these up. In the comment section, plant foldies, if you would love to buy an Aglaonema red vein, or if you own one. Like, I am almost tempted to buy these at full price, but $29.99 is still a little bit pricey, considering if you have a little bit more patience, these eventually will get marked down on clearance. And I am all about saving money. As much as I love the plant, I also love being comfortable and making sure that I can still have money for myself for other expenses. That's the thing about growing plants. Sometimes we forget that we have bills to pay, a mortgage, etc., etc. And it is tax season, so I need to make sure that all of my finances are together. I also wanted to show you these Epipremnum aureum Enjoy Pothos. This is in a 6-inch planter for $9.99. Love this easy care plant, one I would recommend. Definitely get yourself an Enjoy Pothos. Really love the look of the Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu Blue Pothos. Beautiful plant. This one does require a little bit more light in order for it to really grow. And if you put it on a pole, it will get larger leaves. Love the silver foliage, but if you don't give enough light and you don't water it a little bit more consistently, it will get leggy and it's just not going to grow the best for you. So this is a pothos plant that needs more bright light and more water as compared to, say, that Enjoy Potho right next to it. Beautiful plant. It's endemic to my home country, the Philippines. They call it tibatib there, and it is a beautiful plant. More light will give you more of that silverish blue tone to it. see, we've got some more bromeliads here. Colorful ones for only $14.99. And then I just have to revisit all of these gorgeous plants. This one is a Calathea rospicta. Beautiful plant. I believe this is for $9.99. I do like the planter. It kind of matches the purple tone about it. It's just a plant I cannot add to my plant collection just because it's giving me a lot of pain. It ends up going to plant heaven. And then just look at these Aglaonema red veins. That is the highlight for me. And this is the reason why I have been going to a lot of Kroger grocery stores, because of how gorgeous this Aglaonema is. I'm curious to see what Tropic Treasures will release next month. It looks like every other month or so they have another variety of a rare plant that makes it into Kroger grocery stores. I want to buy all of the Aglaonema, like plant foldies. Let me know in the comment section. Should I rescue all of these Aglaonema? Should I buy them at full price? What should I do? Because I do not want to see these precious Aglaonema make it into plant heaven. They are just so gorgeous. Right here, plant foldies, they've got lots of ficus plants. We had a ficus elastica, we've got a ficus lyrata, and all of these are for $19.99. So it's a little bit pricey. I would recommend going to like maybe Home Depot, Lowe's, or Walmart for these types of plants. But if you're going to look for easy care plants, definitely recommend buying this Epipremnum aureum Enjoy. This one is for $9.99. I do think it's a little bit pricey, but you don't often see Enjoy Pothos in a 6-inch planter. And look at how large the leaves are. Nice plant, and it holds onto its variegation even if you don't give it enough bright indirect light. Talk about green plants. I love the peace lily, gorgeous plant as well. It is another one only for $16.99. Would really recommend this one for anybody that wants a green foliage plant that's easy care. You just have to make sure that you are watering it pretty much every day. It does not like to dry out completely. Otherwise, it'll look like it's on the brink of going to plant heaven. Still, it's a good plant price, and it's one I would recommend. It's an easy to care for plant, one that can tolerate very low light conditions. The 6-inch planters for Pothos plants or Epipremnum aureum. This one is a neon Pothos. This one is an example of how it didn't give as much like bright indirect light, meaning that it's a little bit more green. But if you're going to ask me which place sells 6-inch planters of Pothos that are the least expensive, I would say Kroger for $9.99. Really good plant price as well, and I would definitely be tempted to buy this. Now, I've been able to find Pothos plants on clearance at Kroger for only $2, so I may just wait, although I am tempted to buy this one because it's super full and lush, and I just love that natural leaf shine it also has. Let me know in the comment section, plant foldies, if you would buy this Pothos plant or what you think of the Kroger plants here. I love taking you to different places so you can see what kind of plants are available. spider plant, you've seen Dieffenbachia, and now you're looking at a philodendron white measure, also known as a philodendron Birkin. These are all by Mason Farms. And then we also have a Chiflera right here for $13.99. So all of the 5-inch planters by Mason Farms are $13.99. I like this. It's just a green umbrella plant, but it's one that's easy to care for and one that is common. You can find this, and that's all about, that's the thing. I always think that the common plants are gorgeous, but they also have Alocasia Mickey Mouse for only $13.99. So that's really cool. A variegated xanthosoma is really what it is, I think. So correct me if I'm wrong. Beautiful plant. I didn't really expect to find a Mickey Mouse Alocasia here, but for $13.99, that's the thing. You can find some rare and uncommon Alocasias at Kroger grocery store of all places. So that's exciting. And I'm just going to keep picking up these Mickey Mouse Alocasias. Love that variegation. It is a finicky plant. It is a plant that you have to water the soil whenever the top or inch of the soil is dry. Water it and give it higher humidity levels. Give it lots of bright indirect light, and you should be able to grow it successfully. It is an Alocasia, so it is a little bit more challenging of a plant, but they have a lot of selection here. And you can see right over here, we've got a Palea plant, and we also have some Calathea rospictas here. I love that they had these organized by color. Again, I am just really tempted to buy more of these plants. I love going to Kroger grocery stores, specifically Kroger marketplaces, because they have large plants. But I'm going to pan around here and kind of show you what else they have. I'm going to walk into the clearance section. This is where they have it. So we're going to take a look at this. So this one right here is a Aglaonema Silver Bay. Used to be $19.99. It's only $8. So, that would be one I would rescue, but I already have one. And then this Spathiphyllum here looks perfect, and it's reduced to $6.81 versus $16.99. So you can see that you can save quite a bit of money at Kroger. So you just have to know when they reduce the plants and buy it when they're reduced. So I'm just going to keep picking up some more of these reduced plant prices. Aglaonema red vein, $9.12 versus it being originally $29.99. Like, I would even venture to ask the employees if they might be able to mark it down further, because if they are to like $4, I would buy every single one of them. But you can see right here, this one is actually not a bad looking one as well. Let me know in the comment section if I should rescue these for $9.12, or should I wait a little bit further until they mark them down even more. But that's one place to really save money, is go to Kroger whenever they reduce their plants, because they do some massive reductions in price. Like this one definitely needs to be $4, but it is $9.12. So let me know in the comment section which plants you would buy in the clearance section here.
Why you keeping me waiting? Why you keeping me waiting?
Really tempted to buy this Aglaonema red vein for sure, and just all of these clearance plant prices. So, you know, as far as what that's concerned, I would just recommend it. But if you like this video today, please make sure you are hitting the thumbs up button, as well as subscribing to my YouTube channel at Growfuls. This is Richie. I will definitely see you with a brand new video tomorrow. Bye.